Hey, this is Bryce Johnson from Expedition Bigfoot. You're listening to the Paranormal Zone.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen. It does happen.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I would like to begin tonight's episode, Mike, with a quote.
A quote. Quoth.
From my co-host with the ghosts himself.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
He just bestowed upon me this very eloquent quote right before we started recording.
Hey.
And, well, without further adu, the paranormal poster boy himself, in regards to episodes coming up, sooner rather than later, Mike threw out the wonderful quotes, sometime future.
He can't. His nose is going to start to bleed. I know it.
I trust me, folks. You had to be there. It was one of those moments. We were going back and forth about what we were going to discuss and what we were planning on throwing out there for future episodes. And Mike brilliantly said, "Yes, sometime future." I don't know why it struck me as funny. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Okay, anyways, I needed to get that out of the way. So
I was trying to be eloquent, and I failed tremendously.
Well, because it all started because I asked Mike, I said, "Hey, Mike, do you want to start this episode?" And because you have requested that, you look forward.
I would love to do that sometime.
You'd love to do that, and I thought I'd throw that option out for you again, and I believe eventually you came to the quote of sometime future.
Yes. So, putting it in that context, It's really not that bad.
So, Mike, follow along here and answer appropriately. When would you like to do that?
How about next week?
Nope, you blew it. I wanted you to say sometime future.
Oh, sometime. Oh, God dang it. See?
Okay. It's okay. It's all right.
You want to try it again?
No, I don't.
Sometime future.
There you go. All right. But it is good to see you, whether or not it's sometime future or sometime past or right now.
Sometime present.
Sometime present. It's good to see you. We are here. It is Saturday, January 27th, 2024. We hope everyone's new year is treating them just swell. You know what? We don't even have a plan of attack really tonight. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been so unprepared. But
we do have some preparation, and we have a little. We have a structured kind of a wavy pathway of what we want to do and what we're going to do.
A vague outline.
A vague, wavy outline.
Yes, right. Disheveled. Do not follow this outline.
Right. Surrounded on each side by flooding pools of
gross
shark-infested waters.
Good Lord. I didn't think it was that bad, but if you say so. All right. Well, let's see where that flooded shark-infested waters take us tonight, Mike. It'll be a good conversation.
Yeah. I would not like to drive on that. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do. A couple of days ago, was it a couple of days ago or yesterday? I don't know. Maybe it was earlier today. I don't even remember. But I threw out the idea. Let's just have a paranormal free for all.
Yeah. Yeah, I wrote down paranormal hodgepodge.
Ooh, that's even better. Paranormal.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a little different than my usual paranormal potpourri, which I use,
Yes.
which I have used in the past.
A plethora of paranormal.
Ooh, I like that one too. A plethora of paranormal.
Would you say I have a plethora of sweaters?
Sure. I thought you were going to say piñatas. I mean, because
guapo.
Isn't that the quote? He doesn't ask if he has sweaters, does he? He asks if he has a plethora of piñatas.
Okay, well, he says something about sweaters.
Does he?
Swear to God, yeah, because that one henchman, I think, got him a sweater. And
henchman.
The henchman.
Oh man, we're going to be firing on all cylinders tonight. I can't wait to get this one on the road. And it wouldn't be an episode without Mike's alarms going off because he refuses to turn them off during our recording times. Yes, you can.
But if I turn my phone all the way off, but then if I want to look something up that is pertinent to the podcast.
So you do not have a volume button on your phone?
I do, and there's two of them, and I turn them both down, and it still does that. I have no idea. So, I don't know.
Maybe you have a haunted phone.
Well, I have a little bit of haunted everything.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
So, what are we bringing back this evening that we...
He just startled me. Holy cow.
I'm sorry. That we have...
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm sorry. But what we have done in the past, and we have enjoyed so much, and
I know damn well where you're going.
I think the listeners enjoyed it, and this kind of goes back to vintage times for us.
Oh man, it's been a long time. We've done this since the Nonsense Cast radio days, I believe.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of beer and a lot of nonsensy casted stuff.
Definitely nonsensy casted.
A whole bunch of crap in that one.
Are you referring to the return of Ponderables, perhaps, Mike?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I just heard a dull cheer across the nation.
Very dull. Very dull. A low rumbling.
It was so dull I can almost not hear it.
It was such a low rumble, only whales could decipher it.
Yeah, well, and it's like when the train is going by, the fast one that goes through at night. You know, the highball train.
I got you.
You barely you can have your feet on the floor and you can just barely feel the vibration. It's kind of like that.
That sounds kind of adult oriented there a little bit. So
no.
Low vibrations.
It's the power of the train.
Well, some of the stuff, Mike, that I have written down in our very loosely structured outline here, in our paranormal free-for-all, our paranormal hodgepodge, our plethora of paranormal tidbits, we really have no idea where it's going to go. But we have our wish list of sorts of destinations and future investigations, places we would need, we love, we want so badly to check out. We have some lists there. We have... I've written down some notes, some of our own personal best evidence, some of the experiences that we've had that mean the most to us. It's going to be off the cuff. I'm telling you that right now. So I'm looking forward to Mike's answers. I'm looking forward to see what the hell I think of, for gosh sakes. We got hypotheticals. I have at least one really good hypothetical. I think that's going to be pretty darn interesting. As we said already, the return of Mike's Ponderables. Are we going to go back and forth on the Ponderables, or is it just going to be
I think that, it doesn't matter. I mean, you know, if we want to go by tradition, I would do it by myself. But, you know, the back and forth is, you know, it's kind of like a tennis match of Ponderables.
There you go. Well, let's see what we're feeling. Let's see what the vibe is when we get there.
Absolutely. When we get there, we will play it by ear, as they say.
I have a pretty interesting question I have written down. I'm looking forward to throwing out right at Mike. It's going to stick right on his face and see if he can answer it.
As long as it slowly crawls down like those
sticky worms, whatever those were. I found a list of some funny Zak Bagans quotes.
There you go.
I'll remember to get to those. The shameless Patreon plug, of course. And without any further ado, after I introduce the show, let's do it right now, Mike. In case you are new to the program, this is your weekly dose of all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. Of course, this is the Paranormally Zone. My name is Patrick Koffenberg, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghost, the paranormal poster boy himself, the loquacious sometime future. Mike Carbno, it is good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Believe it or not, we get new listeners on occasion. Now and then, we get a new listener. Yeah. Now, if they stick around or not, that's to be seen.
Right.
We do not know. So far, the success rate is, well, I won't say.
Well, and we don't know the time span between occasions as well.
Very true. That is so true. so true. But we do have definitely a loyal group of listeners out there, and we thank all of them so much for sticking around for years, Mike. Years. Some of these folks have stuck around with the Crazy Paranormal Zone, going back to the Ultimate Route podcast days. I want to know if people have been listening since Nonsensicast radio days.
Wow. Yeah. I'd be embarrassed.
No, I'd be impressed. I would be impressed.
I'd be embarrassed for us. I mean,
sure. I gotcha.
Yeah, but
as I mentioned earlier, Mike, without any further ado, we promised this last episode, it is time to select the winner for Name Mike's Skeleton Pal.
Yay! I tell you what, I'm so pumped up about this.
And everyone,
it's unbelievable.
You are. Imagine how excited our listeners are.
No, I've got a plethora. There's that word again. A plethora of prizes. Would you say I have a plethora of prizes?
Yes, Mike. You have a plethora of prizes.
I do, and boy, and if I just knew any of the people that are to choose from, if I knew what their personalities were, I could choose something more appropriate for that specific person.
Well, you know what? That unfortunately, that's how award shows work, Mike. They don't judge the prizes by the contestants' personalities now. So
yeah, but I want to send something would be fun and pertinent.
Well, Mike's got his people. If you can't hear it, Mike's digging his sweaty palms into his little poppycock can.
My vintage poppycock can from Petersburg, Ontario.
Let me see that, Mike. Let me see that.
From the 70s.
He literally has it filled with the names. The names, I want to look at the little names that you have written down in there, like the pieces of paper. There they are. Yes, of those who have submitted their entries for the Name Mike Skeleton Pal. Oh man, I wish I had my drum roll soundtrack or sound bite going right now. Do you have anything to say, Mike, before pulling the winner? I mean, they are.
I want to say it's been a long journey. And we're at the end of that road, so I'm going to pick a winner and be done with it.
Okay.
But I'll need their address and phone number, height, color of eyes, color of hair.
Mike, you know what? The best way to do this.
Yes, you tell me.
If you are listening right now and you hear your name called, send us a direct message and we'll get all the info we need from you to get Mike's grand prize sent on its way to your home.
Oh, it's going to be more than one prize in the package. I'll tell you that much.
Goodness.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
But this is a winner take all. This isn't a first, second, third place type thing. This is a winner take all.
This is a winner take all.
Mike, I can't stand it anymore.
All right. Sound of me digging into the plethora of names on this plethora of paperwork. All right, so I'm going to take out. All right, here we go. The prize winning.
And now, Mike,
prize winning name.
You do have the name and who suggested it on this piece of paper, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I do. Okay, let's see.
All right. Oh, I'm excited.
I am unfolding I folded all the names mostly into really small, tiny little pea-sized bundles.
Mike likes making things difficult on himself.
I do. All right, I love this girl. She is just an awesome listener.
Oh, let's
hear it. Great supporter. The winner of the Name Mike Skeleton contest of 2024.
Okay, just say it.
Is the one, the only, Angela Dawn.
Oh, yay. Oh, perfect.
Yay for Angela Dawn.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes, she's been such an awesome listener. And I'm going to say it right now. We apologize for not getting around to your true crime episode you've requested, I think, 7 years ago now? I don't know.
Yeah. But no, we are going to do it because it is a great story.
Oh, it is. It's creepy.
It really is. And it just has to be done.
Now, I think I remember the name that Angela suggested. Can I guess it?
You can do it.
Did she not suggest George?
George, yes.
That's right. Yeah.
My friend, my pal, my emaciated chum. His name is George.
That's awesome. Emaciated chum. He is now and forever known as George. That's
George.
Great. You know, I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool and fitting because if I recall correctly, Angela's choice of George was because it was like her favorite member of the Beatles, George Harrison, and also
that is correct. I remember that now.
The name of her beloved past puppy dog that had gone over the
Very
Rainbow
true.
Bridge not that
true.
long ago. So awesome. Congrats, Angela. If you are listening, reach out to us. Please, if you are interested in Mike's grand prize, tell me, or believe me, you'll be interested in Mike's grand prize, whatever the hell it is.
Grand prizes.
Grand prize. Oh, it's plural.
Oh, yeah, there's plural. This is just not going to be like send a little trinkety toy thing from freaking Kmart out in front of the door gumball machine.
Okay.
You know,
I believe
is
you.
not that.
Okay.
There could be a valuable prize mixed in there with it.
Man.
Be sure to look into every crevice, crack, and everything that's in that box so you don't miss anything.
Well, we thank Angela from the bottom of our hearts for listening.
Yes.
We hope you still are listening. No promises that we will improve anytime soon, but hey, that's what we're all about here at Paranormal Zone. Well, that was cool. That was fun. We should
Very fun.
We should do something similar in the not so distant future. All
right, then you can pick out all the prizes for that one.
I meant to say we should think of something like that sometime future.
Sometime future.
That's
right. You're making fun of me then.
Well, I think that's going to be a great shirt for like a Patreon members. We should have just those words printed on hoodies and T-shirts. Sometime future.
Yeah. Can cozies.
I like that idea.
Baseball caps. Beach towels. Sandals.
Salt and pepper shakers.
All over the place.
Man.
The back of milk cartons.
Well, no. Now you're going too far. That was going too far. No, I'm kidding. So, Mike, I want to start here before we get to our paranormal wish lists of destinations and future investigations and the like. Would you rather I throw out that kind of ghostly hypothetical, or do you want me to throw out that ghostly question that I had written down? The question is kind of it's definitely a mind bender a bit, kind of, but it's pertinent to the topic at hand. So which do you prefer right now, the hypothetical or the legit question? To get us rolling here tonight on our unscripted, unprepared, all over the place, free for all. What are you vibing? What are you feeling?
What am I vibing? Well, I'm not vibing anything. I got to put another quarter in for that.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
But anyway,
have you ever used one of those? By the way, those weird ass like vibrating beds? Have you ever been on one of those things?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, sorry. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen.
One time when I was in the Philippines in 1991. Anyway.
I'm familiar with that because of there's like scenes in several movies where people use like usually comedies.
Yes. Yeah, like an old sleazy,
hotels.
Back off the road hotel, motel.
Motels.
No-tell.
Notes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think
put a quarter in for 20 minutes worth of radio.
I think it's like the scenes I'm remembering are planes, trains, and automobiles.
Sure.
John Candy's character put the quarter in the vibrating bed, and then he left his 6-pack of beer on the bed, and it exploded.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the classic Chevy Chase Vacation, when he was trying to be all sultry and seductive with his wife, and he decided to put the vibrating bed to work.
Yeah. And they ended up on the floor at the end of the bed.
They sure did. So, where were we? Okay, Mike, the hypothetical or the question? What do you
I better answer that.
Yeah, you better.
Give me the hypothetical. I'm really vibing towards that.
Okay. Now, it's not necessarily a guaranteed funny by any means. Depends on some of the answers that you might give or some of the thoughts that might pop into either of our noggins.
We never really mean to be funny. It's just the way it happens. It comes out that way.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm not sure if people are laughing with us or at us.
Well, I have learned that idiocy must be funny.
Really?
So.
That sounded very sad, Mike.
It did. Okay, the hypothetical.
The hypothetical, Mike. If you were to become a ghost,
yes.
Okay, you, Mike Carbonell, the paranormal poster boy, if you were to become a ghost after you leave this physical vessel of yours, what would be the worst place that you could be stuck hunting?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Let your mind roam on that one there, buddy.
Wow. If I was stuck in one place.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
You know, you can talk it out. You can say whatever pops into your mind. Like, what would be the worst place to be stuck?
If I was stuck wherever it is that my first wife lives, I mean, I would have a hell of a time having fun, scaring the shit out of her as much as I can. Get her back for some of the crap she pulled on me. But anyway, yeah, but I would have you would hear me moaning and rattling chains.
Oh, man.
I would not like it.
And that moaning would be out of pure like sorrow and despair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whew.
It would sound just like E.T. when he's running away.
Oh, God, don't do that. Don't do that.
I won't.
Mike, for those who aren't aware, Mike terrified me a few weeks back with his impersonation of E.T. Don't.
I was just winding up. I didn't get.
I know
get
that
to
wasn't
it, so.
anywhere near to how it actually sounded. Oh man. Okay, so that's one. Any other ideas pop into your brain? Mike would despair to be stuck at his ex-wife's abode. He would not know how to handle that one.
I wouldn't like being stuck in a small attic.
A very small attic. Yeah.
It's something that doesn't have anything up in it. It's just like insulation and ductwork, you know.
Yeah, see, the thing is,
like
you know,
HVAC or whatever.
It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing you said that it's an attic that doesn't have anything up there, because a lot of times that's where a lot of if you're into like collectibles and if you're into, interesting gadgets or trinkets, as Mike said earlier.
Mine are all on display throughout my entire house.
But what I was getting at, Mike, is that a lot of times that's where you find those missing treasures. That's where
absolutely.
That's where Grandma Ethel, threw the box of what she thought was worthless up in the attic, and then forgot it was there, and then decades later, grandkids are searching through there, and they stumble across this box full of treasure. So I'm glad you clarified that about being an empty attic, nothing but dust. And the thing is, if I became a ghost, I'm sure I'd still have allergies. And so I'd probably be sneezing.
Off in the dark, you see this dark shape of Patrick, but the eyes are all red.
My nose is red for sure, and I'm just, most people hear like ghosts wailing or moaning or even, very clear vocals, and all they'd hear from me is,
yeah, and there's all kinds of green ecto goo coming out of your nose.
Okay, so you went a little too far on that one. Ecto goo.
Yes, green ecto goo.
Man. Well, when I read that one to myself earlier, in all honesty, the first thing that popped into my brain, I wasn't even trying to be funny to myself, was being stuck in a men's restroom somewhere.
Oh my God. In some third world country.
Oh man, no, thank you. It's because we're focusing. You have to understand here, for whatever reason, this ghost, whether it be Mike or myself, would literally be stuck. No chance of elevating to a higher level. We're there for, I don't know, I guess it'd be a punishment for this podcast or something. I'm not sure, but
how about like being stuck in a sinful chamber of disgusting, despicable acts?
Oh man,
you have like Malcolm McDowell, Clockwork Orange things holding your eyelids open, and you have to watch.
Good Lord, Mike.
You have to watch this stuff.
Oh, man.
Now, that would be a nightmare.
That would be hell.
Yeah, you would see me with green ecto puke projectile out of my that would be bad.
Hopefully that doesn't happen sometime future. That's all I'm telling you right now.
Sometime future. I am sometimes future boy.
I kind of like that though. I like the idea of putting that on a shirt. So keep that in mind. That's going to be that's a Patreon plug there, boys and girls. We're going to have some t-shirts and hoodies and all that good shite available.
T-shirts that say that with a picture of my very confused looking face right underneath it. Sometime future. Golly. Oh my God, my dog.
I just like that one. See, Macy's concerned about your state of mind right now.
I know. She's very sensitive to
Well, since you chose a hypothetical, then I will go straight to the question I wrote down then too. Or okay.
So I have to have the question anyway?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was one or the other.
No, which one you wanted first? Which one you wanted first?
Well, geez, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have had to put so much thought into it.
So, well, don't worry.
Good Lord.
Go
ahead. I'm ready.
You can put as much thought into this one as you can. This is fairly, it's nothing comical about this. So, we tend to focus on all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious, and that, of course, includes UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, cryptids, Loch Ness, all that good stuff. And we talk about quote unquote evidence that the pseudo skeptics would need in order to finally see the light, so to speak, right? And so we always argue about our own, like I mentioned earlier, our own personal evidence or stuff that happens to us that we perceive as proof to us, but we're not stupid. We know that what we experience would not convince a skeptic that we experienced something paranormal, right? I mean, this is not going to happen. We'll play them the It's Debbie EVP, and they'll think of, well, you guys just faked it somehow. You had a radio playing,
exactly,
or something like that. It's like, no, well, we didn't, but thanks for being open-minded. But
Patrick and his fantastic sarcasm.
Or sarcasm. I like that too. There's another shirt. Sarcasm.
There you go. That'll be underneath my confused looking face picture.
So, there is a chance, okay? So to speak, there's a chance to someday have irrefutable evidence that there is such a thing as Bigfoot. There is a chance someday that we will have irrefutable evidence.
Well, I think we already have it.
That there are aliens.
Go ahead.
We will have the bodies. I know a lot of people say we need a Bigfoot body in order to prove finally that there is such a thing as Sasquatch out there. And I get that side of the argument. I do. But it made me think, Mike, is it even possible to have irrefutable evidence of ghosts? Think about that for a second. Irrefutable.
Well, is it possible?
Is it even possible to prove that there is such a thing as ghosts?
There has got to be a way, and if we don't have it yet, it will come.
So, okay, by saying that, are you suggesting that right now, as of 2024, there is no way to prove it? There is no way to prove the existence of ghosts, even to an open-minded person, an open-minded skeptic, let alone a pseudo-skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
Or as Dave Schrader would say, that's just a cynic. There's no such thing as pseudo-skeptic.
Yeah, but we have continued to use the pseudo-skeptic.
Oh, I do.
Word as
I love it. I love saying that.
Yeah, it is a great word, I think.
But Mike, yes or no? What do you think? I love putting you on the spot. Our listeners know I love putting you on the spot. I have my answer to this. I'm curious what you think. Could we have Mr. Z on the show and we could somehow prove without a shadow of a doubt that ghosts are real to Mr. Z?
Right now, no. And especially us. If we, had our evidence that we know and what it is, that, like you said earlier, it's not going to matter because people are going to think that it's faked, and everybody knows about how great technology is and how you can manipulate video so easily.
Right.
Right now, there's just no way at this time.
I agree with you. That's where I was. That's the side of the fence I was sitting on, and pretty easily sitting on that one because there's just no way. Even if you and I captured the most unbelievable physical video evidence that we know showed something, even if it was an apparition, Mike, an apparition just manifested right in front of us, and we were lucky enough to capture it on camera, that wouldn't matter.
Get her!
That wouldn't matter. That wouldn't matter. That would not prove it without a shadow of a doubt that image is real to the non-believer or a scientist. Oh man, that's a whole other ball of wax. It's like how could science irrefutably prove that there is an afterlife? Is it even possible? Is it theoretically possible? What do you guys think out there? Listeners, what do you think?
No. But even if we can't prove it, say you and I and my brother Steve.
Holy Toledo, there he is right there.
Jeez.
Throw that damn window, or throw that damn phone out the window. Again, Mike doesn't know how volume works. And now he looks like he's cussing at lovely Mary, blaming her for the phone problems. I just know that's what's going down. All right.
That has been averted.
Temporarily.
Now, where were we now?
You said, the last thing you said were, if you and I and my brother Steve, where were you going with that? Nope, I caught Mike.
Yes, okay, so my Diet Mountain Dew. But anyway, to me at that point, I wouldn't care if it was irrefutable proof that we were trying to show the world that this is proof. Like you said, nobody's going to believe it if not just a small percentage.
No, of course not.
But look at the life-changing experience that the three of us would have. That alone, proving it to you that you've had that. You're on the other side of the fence with your feet dangling, on that.
My little itty bitty feet.
Yeah, you're a size 3 3/4.
Hey, I'm up to 4. Come on, give me a
break. And at least it's a wide.
It is wide, yes. You can't even really decipher when my feet begin and my ankles start.
It's kind of like rhinoceros legs and
a little bit, a little stumpy, and flat.
You need a bigger nose. But anyway, see, I'm getting off track, and now I'm forgetting where I'm at.
Well, I also need a very sharp nose.
Well, go ahead. Yes,
I'm saying not even a bigger nose, but also a giant ivory tusk protruding.
Well, it's actually made out of the same thing that hair is made out of.
Well, thank you. Yes.
But anyway, the life-changing experience of even just the three of us, to me, would be worth it, even if nobody else believed it.
Oh, I agree. I get it. I'm totally with you on that one.
It's like that's the three people.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It would be an experience that just
Well, Mike, in your lifetime of paranormal experiences, it has never. I guess I shouldn't speak for you, but I am assuming that it is the idea of shoving your experiences in non-believers' faces, so to speak, has never been a part of your agenda at all. It's like people ask you about your experiences, you are more than happy to tell them.
Absolutely.
But you don't sit there and say, "Well, you're wrong for not believing me." You don't.
Right,
you've never been like that.
Right.
So I get where you're coming from on that one. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at all because all that matters is what it mattered to you, right?
Right. And for many, many, many years, decades, I've always said, if somebody wants to hear what I've experienced, I'm more than happy to tell it.
Yes.
And it's up to them to believe it or not. I'm not telling you this story to make you believe in anything. or to try to convince you. I am just doing what you asked and telling you exactly what I experienced, and it's up to that person or that whoever to take it from there and decide what they want to do with it.
Yes.
So
I've
always said that.
Let's segue from that question. I want to incorporate, the aliens, UFOs, Bigfoot, Loch Ness, what have you, briefly into this conversation, because I feel like we're on a roll here a little bit. Now I probably just jinxed it, but that's okay. Hopefully my computer won't crash. Right, God? Right, podcasting gods? You're listening to me, right? And we're back, everybody. My computer just crashed.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. So, kidding for now. Damn it. Knock on wood. Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
So as far as importance / significance, Mike, I think the listeners know that like the big three, the big four, ghosts, UFOs, Loch Ness, Bigfoot, and the like, to me, to experience some sort of evidence, personal experience that is irrefutable, to me, it would have to be ghosts. Number one, with a bullet, no doubt about it. I am a little wishy-washy when it comes to deciphering your top list, because there's two of them at the very top for you. Aliens and ghosts.
Absolutely.
And I believe you have said, well, I know ghosts exist, and so, therefore, the eventual evidence of aliens existing is at the top of your list. Would you say that that's a fair statement for me to throw it out at you? Are aliens at the top of your list when it comes to, like, my gosh, I want those to be real?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. It is. That's absolutely true.
Can you expound a little bit? Why? Why would it be aliens?
Well, ever since I saw that large triangle, or of three orange orbs, buzz past in the sky, I believed in them. I had faith in my own belief and thoughts that they're real, they're out there. How can they not be? But when I saw that, it became even more of a passion. And I tell you, if I could have that day of the landing on the White House lawn and everything's exposed, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's talked about, well, religious people, they'll, question whatever, everything they believe. And it just, it would crumble the church kind of thing. I think we'd handle it a lot better than.
Did you see that church that did crumble the other day
No, I did not.
Oh crap, where was it? Was it in Massachusetts? I saw Jason Haas post about it, actually. It was a church built in 1850, just this massive, beautiful church that just collapsed upon itself. And I mean, it was a sad sight to see. I mean, this is a classic, beautiful building.
Yeah.
I saw, Jason's quote was, I hope no one was inside, obviously.
Right.
Because I think it was in his neighborhood, and I think they live in Massachusetts. I could be mistaken on that one.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, go check it out, everybody. It's look at the pictures of the old church, but hopefully no one was inside. Hopefully no one was injured. But that's sad when classic buildings like that just tumble away. But
yes,
apologies.
Frightening.
Apologies for that little aside. So getting back to your proverbial landing on the White House lawn moment, what do you think would make a bigger impact, Mike, on society in general? Surefire proof of an afterlife, or surefire proof that we are not alone?
Wow. I think that there are so many people that already believe that there's an afterlife, whether it be through their faith, their religion, or their spirituality, or how they were raised, or what they believe. That would be more likely that it would come out like that.
So you're thinking though that it would have a bigger impact worldwide to have surefire evidence that we're not alone, because
absolutely
more people already potentially believe in an afterlife as opposed to believing in aliens.
I don't. Right, but I don't know what statistics are. The numbers, I could be way off. But
I think that you might be right though, because I think it's over 50%. I believe that of people who believe in an afterlife of some form. I think. Again, I could be way off as well.
An afterlife, not necessarily meaning that they believe in ghosts or haunted houses, so to speak, but that there is an afterlife. It's like this
God.
Is not the end.
Exactly. There's, it's. I'm not referring to the corny, cheesy. I'm going to go to the pearly gates and then float on a white cloud with a harp. For the rest of
with very
eternity.
Tiny, small angel wings,
tiny to fit my tiny, round rhinoceros-esque feet.
Yeah, my wings would probably be black.
Why? Why would they be black?
I just, that's the kind of self-esteem I have.
Wow. I feel sad now. Mike,
I really don't like myself.
Mike just put talk about like irrefutable stains of negativity on the podcast.
I planted a bad seed.
I kid, of course.
I do too. I kid, of course, myself.
So, Mike, rolling right along here, some of the best evidence, and I'm doing best evidence in air quotes, our own personal best evidence, without a doubt. Longtime listeners know it's Debbie. I think
it's Debbie.
Is the Holy Grail, the Holy Grail for us.
Yeah.
Yep. It's an EVP, clear as day EVP. If you are new to the program, it's time for the cheap Patreon plug. We have a ton of stuff available, exclusive Patreon posts, up to 385. Patreon
but there's
posts.
a catch.
What is it? What's the catch?
It costs just a little bit of money.
Oh, that's right. You can sign up. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month.
Yeah.
$1 a month.
As little as starting at.
Absolutely. And you know what? That gives you access to all of our Patreon exclusive episodes. We just recorded exclusive episode number 67. That was a really fun, cool conversation, Mike. We talked about
I don't remember it, but it was fun.
I was hoping you would let me get to the description before you said that you couldn't remember it.
Okay. Well, I just screwed that up.
To spark your memory, we talk about those crazy, weird, obscure cryptid encounters. Do you remember that?
We did. I do.
Now, listen to me, folks. I'm curious. We talk about actual stories. People who have claimed to have encountered an undersea abominable snowman. Okay.
Yes. Go figure.
The ear eater of Jasper County.
That one freaked me out a little bit. I didn't like that one.
We shared our thoughts on the jellyfish UFO that's been making the rounds. It was a couple other really obscure, crazy, wild encounters. It was really cool. I had a good time talking about that. But that was number 67. We have a ton of other episodes and a lot of our own footage, video and audio of our own paranormal investigations, including the It's Debbie EVP and several other EVPs, potential clear as day EVPs. A lot of them we're still scratching our heads over.
Well, it's like, we focus so much on that It's Debbie EVP that we got. But then, recently you have been going over it again, and there are more EVPs on there that you didn't catch the 150,000 times you listened to it before.
I might have to listen to it again tonight. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the very beginning of the 18-minute clip that contained the It's Debbie EVP, as well as like 3 or 4 other anomalies later on, like moaning, really weird, creepy, mocking sounding like moans, directed towards us. At the very beginning of that clip, you hear me tell Mike, watch that video, and then immediately after that, you hear that mocking, crazy. I swear to God, Mike, it sounds like it's electronic in nature. We've discussed this. We broke it down on Patreon. That's how it is picked up when it kind of breaks through that veil. It absolutely affects the audio of it, and it just sounds. I don't know how to describe it. It sounds electronic to me, not robotic. It's bizarre, but it says in a mocking tone, watch that, like it was mimicking what I just said. It's crazy.
Just like in that same kitchen, you were mocked with the press play.
The press play. That's right. Yes, exactly.
So it ties it all together.
All of it fits.
And it proves to me that the press play is an actual real, class A, AAA EVP.
Yes, exactly, man.
Oh man. Well, the It's Debbie as well.
The It's Debbie is irrefutable to me. It really is.
You'd swear there was another person in the room with us.
Yep. It's and it just makes sense to the story.
It does.
The tragic story that
yeah,
the tragic occurrence at your house before you had lived there. So anyways, we'd love to see you guys there. If you want to support us, there's no better way. Again, you can sign up for as little as $1 a month, no obligations. If you don't like it, you can say ta-ta and see you later and all that good stuff. But we have a feeling that you would like to stick around because lots of good stuff there. Now, speaking of evidence, Mike, some of those best captures of ours, like I said, they already mentioned It's Debbie, the What's That? How would you rank, how would you place, now you weren't there, and you know how I feel about that. Caught on video and on audio at the Babbitt School, those damn, I swear to God, it sounds like desks being pushed on the floor in the room above us. I mean, you remember when I first called you when that happened?
Right. Yeah. You called me and you were so excited.
I was.
And I heard it. I heard it myself. It was crazy. I mean,
you heard like my excitement, you're saying?
Oh, and the sound of the recording.
That's right, because I played it for you. Yeah.
Yes, and knowing that there's nothing up there. I mean, there's no classes that go on up there. It's just storage. And what is stored up there? Tables and chairs.
Uh-huh.
And the way I heard that, it was the clearest sound of either a chair or a heavier table just being pushed across the floor a little bit.
Yep, absolutely, man.
And clear as day. But
I've been trying to talk myself out of that one. Since
why? See, that's the negative seed that you plant.
I know.
I'll try to talk myself out of that. Oh, but I want to believe. I really do.
Well,
I want to see something.
Wow.
Boy, but when you experience it, you push it away.
Wow, I lit a fire under somebody's ass right there.
No. Your mind is open. You just gotta
let me
unlock that last lock.
Let me rephrase that. I am not trying consciously to talk myself out of it, but it just seems to happen. Like even the next day when I woke up, first thing I thought of was like, okay, what could that have been to explain that physically? What in that building caused that? There has to be something. And granted, I can't think of a damn thing that would explain what the hell created that sound. It doesn't sound like pipes rattling or anything like that.
No.
It doesn't sound like the vent turning on in any way. It sounds like a weight. If that sounds ridiculous, but it's like when you hear it, you can hear like the weight of it. If that makes sense,
Exactly. That's why I said possibly a heavier table.
Yeah. So it's up there, man. That's definitely up there for me. And also my sister-in-law, those scratches that she got at that same school.
Right.
Very recently. Again, I posted those pictures with her permission on Patreon. The Desks Moving Audio is on Patreon, and the video too of us capturing that. And of course, I'm dropping F-bombs because I like going, fuck. But those scratches on my sister-in-law's back. And again, talk about evidence to us that no one else would give two shits about if you're a skeptic, if you're a pseudo-skeptic, because that in no way is going to prove to anybody that is paranormal in nature at all.
Absolutely.
But but coming from me, I know her. You know what I mean? She is not going to make anything like that up. First and foremost, how the hell did she scratch herself like that? And the classic 3 scratch marks.
And that was in the school, correct?
That was in the school.
And that was at the same time that she had seen a figure, I believe it was.
Well, she has experienced stuff.
Heard something.
She has experienced stuff in that school quite a bit. So has her daughter, Chloe. Chloe has seen something in that school. Chloe has been a guest on the Paranormally Zone. She shared her experiences on one of our Ghost Stories episodes.
So knowing all that and knowing the activity that's going on in this school, And then you have an experience that you cannot explain, but knowing the activity that's there, and you're still...
See, why are you coming back to me?
Because you are obsessively trying to debunk these things. You are never going to get yourself to believe 150% because you will not allow it.
Obsessively is a strong word, isn't it?
No, it's not, Patrick.
I wouldn't say I obsess over trying to disprove anything. I don't.
You try to talk yourself out of it.
Not obsessively, just occasionally.
Enough to the point where, even the It's Debbie does not give you 100% proof. Even though you know.
That one is 99.999999999. As far as many nines as you can mathematically put on there, that's what It's Debbie is. The only thing that keeps it from being 100% to me is because I wasn't there. We were walking down the steps. We did not hear it with our own ears. That
should be more validation that it's something paranormal.
It is. I'm not saying I don't believe that. Trust me, it's my holy grail. It's our holy grail. That EVP, I believe it to be ghostly in nature, 100%, 100%. Except what I'm talking about right now, I think it's 99.999. Just because it can't. Oh my gosh, I'm digging myself a hole here, Mike. I believe it. I do. That
I know you do. Okay,
but it's just. There's some stupid part in my brain that somehow thinks it's some audio anomaly that you picked up in some radio frequency. The digital picked up the neighbor's radio somehow.
Yeah, my filling picked up on the neighbor's radio.
That's exactly it. I know it's stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid. I get it. But I believe it. I do believe it. Mike, do you have to take a time traveling excursion here?
I do.
Okay.
After all this, I was going to say, Patrick, I got to go to the bathroom.
All right. Well, I was trying to save you I was trying to take it, take it smoothly, take it.
Yeah. You're trying to save face.
I was trying to save face. I didn't want to say that Mike was getting his, I got to go potty shakes right now. So, okay.
No, that was my feet shaking in frustration.
That's very, very true. Okay, before we go, Mike, when you are using your toilet, just remember, I believe. Yes. Okay? I believe.
All right. I will sing the 3-minute I Believe song while I'm urinating, okay?
All right, man. Well, this has been a great one. So we'll come back after this time traveling excursion, and we'll wrap it up with some Ponderables, some good times, and some more discussion. Don't go anywhere, boys and girls. And we have returned yet again from another successful time traveling excursion. It was during this latest time traveling excursion that Mike was taking all the credit for the quality of this podcast. So, Mike, would you care to expand to our listeners while you were on an egotistical roll there during our time traveling excursion?
I was not.
You could not help yourself.
It's totally the opposite. I was talking about me being the problem about why we are stuck where we're at.
Well, see, now you must have time traveled totally in a different direction than I did, because I literally don't remember you saying that. Decades in the opposite direction. No, I'm kidding too. Mike was not saying that at all. But we have returned.
I inverted, though.
Kind of. I guess.
But I didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it.
I inferred it, but I didn't mean it.
And inferration is not a...
that's not a word. So
well, it's a word in my library.
Well, maybe it is. I really don't know if it is.
In the back of my head.
My vibe was that it was. My initial reaction was that it was not a word, but I'm probably wrong. Probably not.
Just like you don't know who.
Shut up! Don't even go there. Don't say the words that I know that you're going to go for.
No. What? Tell me what was I going to say?
No, I refuse to say those because they're not words. The ones that you insist on using, they end with en and they start with took and.
Oh no! I wasn't. I was going to do a legitimate
bought.
I was going to throw a legitimate thing at you to see if you could answer it.
Oh, okay, do it.
Who it was the 36th president of the United States?
The 36th, well, the 35th president was JFK, so the 36th was Lyndon B. Johnson.
All right. Who was the 12th?
Good God, are you really going to do that's Zach Taylor.
Okay, there you go. See?
Zachary Taylor is what I call him.
See, what I'm getting at is Patrick is a savant when it comes to presidential baloney. Meaningless trivia. Not even good for when you're having coffee with a neighbor.
Why? Why are you doing that to me? Come on. Meaningless.
Because you degraded me on the last segment.
I did?
Yes, you did. I don't even want to talk about it.
How did I degrade you in the last segment?
I have no idea.
Clarify. Tell me. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
So, Mike, before I forget here, I want to read some. It's labeled as unintentionally hilarious Zak Bagans quotes.
Yes. Unintentionally hilarious.
Unintentionally. So, and we.
If he knew that we were doing this, he'd be very upset.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a short list. I tried to find more and more, but these were
not to upset any very big Zak Bagans fans, because there are huge fans out there that like Zak Bagans is like Paul McCartney or something.
Oh, I know, man. But there are also even larger segments, perhaps, of people who despise Zak Bagans. So, Mike and I kind of present a nice little even keel representation, because I am, believe it or not, probably more of a fan of Zak than Mike is. And
I just keep it all to myself.
That's kind of done. That's kind of done a 180. That's done a 180, because back in the day when you and I were first watching Ghost Adventures, I think we both equally made fun of him. But you were more of like, I love this show, and I was just kind of laughing at it.
Yeah,
but it's kind of switched, because I'm like really I'll just stop right there. So some of these are submitted by Reddit users. So, and I do remember some of these, and you have to picture Zak Bagans saying some of these things in the Zak Bagans voice. Okay. Ooh. Let me know if you can remember which episodes these are from. So the first reader submitted quote from Zak, and I do kind of remember this. And he says, "Can you come lay down next to me if you're a female?" He throws it out there towards the spirit world.
Right.
Come lay down next to him. If they're a female. So I'm glad that he threw that one out.
Yeah, I don't want no male ghosty laying next to me. Get all feely, touchy.
Oh, let's see here. We all remember this one, the classic Zak Bagans. "Do you want to come over here and play with my balls?"
Yes. We have joked about that with our own equipment.
Our own ghost balls. Our own ghost balls.
Yes. And the most recently was the ghost ball that fell down the gopher hole.
Ah, yes. I remember that fondly.
Your tiny little baby hands reached right in there and pulled it right out and saved it. I'm just glad your fingers were big enough to wrap around to grab it and pull it out.
See, what listeners don't know is I slid into the gopher hole myself. My entire body was able to squeeze into said hole, and I actually rolled the ball out to Mike.
Yes, with his nose.
with my nose, and I squealed a little bit towards him, and I was pointing in the right direction, direction that the balls were.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Mike was able to spot me from, such a far distance below him.
Well, that when you were pushing it up, it was, that ghost ball was lit.
Yes, it was.
I could see your face being shown in different rainbow colors.
I know. My 5-head glowed.
Let's stop with this. This is going nowhere.
Okay. Zak's quote to Aaron. "Aaron, get in bed with me, man, and we can feel the vibrations together." I do remember.
You got to put in 2 quarters for that.
A little. Or a little, yeah. A little 2 quarters. That made no sense. I'm getting flustered by the Zak quotes already.
The little quarters, or in my case, I call them dimes. But anyway.
It's an animal head skull. It's an animal head skull. I don't remember that, but that totally sounds like something he'd say. Isn't it kind of? Of course. It's a little redundant when he says it's a head skull.
Well,
because you don't say, well, that's obviously a thigh bone skull.
Yeah. Well, it's like when he's flexing his muscles, he says, "This is a muscle."
Okay, he does say that. That's very true.
Something like that.
He points to his right pec and he says, "This is a muscle," and he points to his left. "This is a muscle." Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Well,
Another quote here. I'm going to put this between my legs because that's where I hear the incubus likes it.
Oh, my God. It's a cat o' nine tails with leather balls out of each end of each leather strap. I don't know. God, that's ridiculous.
Oh, man.
But is he saying these things on purpose because they're all kind of, kind of
vaguely, yes,
of a sexual connotation.
Yes, there's definitely an adult hint to his commentary. I get it.
And he knows what he's doing.
Of course he does.
That shows and proves that the whole show is staged.
Oh, stop it now.
You
stop it. You zip it right now. Don't rip on my Zacky baby.
Zip it.
You leave my Zacky baby alone.
Oh boy. Okay, go ahead. Do you have another one?
Yeah, a few here. I don't remember this one either. He says, that spider went straight for my jugular.
That sounds familiar, though. He's probably down in some danky basement or something.
Oh, man. This one isn't necessarily funny at all, but it just sounds just like him. You can just picture him in his, provocative manner. He's trying to piss off the ghosts. And he says, we're not here for beauty. We're here for darkness.
Now, if that's not drama,
that
is pure drama.
You could totally picture him saying that, can't you? And again,
absolutely.
Hey, future guests of the show, Paranormally Zone, open invite to Mr. Zak Bagans.
Absolutely.
We kid because we care, even though Mike apparently hates you guys now. But,
I do not. I do not.
I don't know.
I do not hate. I do not hate anything.
I don't know. You severely dislike. I'm not. I don't know.
No.
Okay,
it's just when when he starts flexing his muscles and the hair on his back starts standing up.
Well, the shirtless, muscle-bound Zach seems to be taking a back seat in the last few seasons. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, his Hulk Hogan t-shirt tearing off is just not cutting it anymore.
See, that'd be pushing it a little bit if he actually did rip his shirt off, aka Hulk Hogan, not aka, but all similar to Mr. Terry Bollea.
Right, exactly.
This one, do you want to come tickle my big old long toes? That was season 14, episode 1.
Trying to seduce the ghost or the succubus or incubus to come after his feet. I could imagine him laying on a bed with bare feet and just, goading the spirits to mess with his feet. I don't know. That's as far as I can go with that.
This isn't exactly a quote how this listener submitted it, but it is funny. It says, referring to Billy taking a boat up the river in an episode, Zach refers to Billy sailing on this river as a flowing artery of evil blood.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, some of these are just too good.
Yeah. Do you remember? To find out that it's actually a carnival ride that's in town.
Do you remember when they were walking around in the desert back in the day when Nick was on the show, and in reference to Nick, directly towards Nick, Zach said, do you want to suck the venom out of me?
God. You're not putting out a good case for Zach personality contest winner.
Do you remember the Sloths Furnace episode?
Yes, the Sloths Furnace. I thought about that earlier as a.
Oh, you did as a destination.
Destination, I certainly did. Yes.
I don't remember this.
If I wrote that one down, but anyway.
I don't remember this, but apparently when they began the investigation at the Sloths Furnace, he said, "Hey, Slog, I'm taking your new job." What the hell does he mean by that? It's written down as a quote here.
Slog?
Slog, S-L-A-G, Slog. Or slag, I guess, maybe. Slag.
Well, I mean, there would be slag that was produced out of this furnace, but it still doesn't make any sense.
Last but not least, I'll end it with this one. I do not recall which episode this occurred in, but apparently this is attributed to Zach, the famous quote, "What are the chances of a couple of guys like us hooking up with a horse like that?" Okay. Well, onward and upward, right, Mike? Again, open invite to Zak Bagans, open invite to Aaron, open invite to Jace, to Jay, to everybody involved in the show. To Nick.
Zach will not let them be on any podcast, I'm sure.
Well, Zach
can allow it.
Zach has been on a. I guess I don't know. I know he was on Chris Jericho's podcast.
Well, and Jericho even admitted to us that it was hard.
Yeah, he did.
Get him.
He said he's like a rock star. He said it was impossible to get him scheduled, basically, but he finally did. Yep, I remember that. I remember you saying that, or him, Chris saying that. Okay, Mike. Let's see here. I'm looking at my professional notes. Is it time for some Ponderables, Mike? Before we
Ponderables
move on to our.
Oh, let me find my Ponderables.
Or do you want to end it? Let's backtrack. I'll give you time to find your Ponderables.
I got them.
And we will now run down some of our bucket list / wish list of paranormal destinations, places that we would just, I don't want to say die to go to, but if we have to, then damn it.
Well, if it's a pun, just go for it.
Because I wrote down a few that popped into my brain.
I did too. I really did.
Let's just do this, Mike. You go ahead and start. Let me know what popped into your noggin as far as your... Gosh, some of the haunted locales out there that you just are dying to see, to visit.
And there's so
to
many.
Investigate.
And I could keep writing and lists, but one of my biggest bucket lists is to go to like Gettysburg or
I knew you were going to say that.
Any Civil War battlefield.
I wrote that was one that I wrote down too, so I'm crossing off Gettysburg. But that's where some of the coolest flipping audio and video captures have ever occurred are on or at Gettysburg, I should say. Mike, one of my all-time favorite is that family sitting out there when they film across like the field. You can hear it's an adult and their adults and their children or whomever it may be, and they're filming like those clear as day apparitions. It looks like a regiment walking through the tree line, and they come and go, they come in and out of focus, and it blows me away every time I watch that. Some of the stuff is just unreal.
That one, and also the one that you can see a soldier that's walking kind of between two cannons or three cannons.
Yes.
That's another just a fantastic catch, I think.
Haven't there also been residual like cannon fire?
Oh, yeah. You hear gunshots and cannon fire. Yeah.
Goddamn Gettysburg, Mike. Why can't we need to make that happen? How long of a trip is that for us?
Well, I don't know.
More than an hour.
Yes. Well, Villisca, that's another, bucket list.
Villisca for sure, and we need to make that happen. That's actually a shorter trip than it was to the Sally House.
That is actually a possible, and it's got to be. I'm
going to be upfront with our listeners because I know that we mentioned this as a destination for us, and we're going to make it happen. We were planning on doing this like a year ago, but I'll be upfront right now. And even back then, it's a matter of finances for the Villisca trip because booking a night for a Villisca is quite a bit more expensive than booking a night for the Sally House.
Right.
Being honest, that's what's kind of slowing us down a little bit. It's holding us back, but we're going to make it happen.
Yes. And you're just starting a new job, and I'm on disability.
I think I did talk about that the last episode, didn't I? About my job. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes. And how proud we are of Patrick and his offer of being a teacher for these young children as well.
Oh, gosh. That's probably in the not so distant future. So that's kind of cool.
You need to do it. You would be so great with that, teaching art to children.
Man, Yeah, that kind of made me feel good that you just said that like that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's maybe your calling. I mean,
and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it's definitely. I mean, it looks like that's kind of the pathway that's kind of
they
clearing
came
out
to you to talk to you about it.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So yeah,
Mike, I wrote down. I'm just going to go down on my list in order here. I'm not saying they're in order of importance, but just how I wrote them.
Exactly. That's how my list is too, in no certain order.
I don't know if it'd ever be possible, but I wrote down Eastern State Penitentiary.
I did too.
Yes, hell yes. What a place! What a place! Talk about video evidence. The Ghost Hunters video evidence on that one from a classic episode from over a decade ago now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that manifesting. I don't know how the hell you describe it. Like a plasma type, smoky looking thing.
And it's like it rushed up and then went back again. But I think when it rushed up and before it retreated, it almost looked like there was like a robe or a type of,
Oh, you think so? You think?
It kind of looked like that to me. I mean, I could be wrong, but, like parts of it looked like it could have been a robe.
It was incredible. I mean, that's one of those things I remember watching back in the day,
Right.
It doesn't leave. I mean, they tried their best to debunk that too. I remember that, they were running up and down both levels, checking every angle. Grant and Jason and everybody involved. Was that the same? Was that the Dude Run episode?
I was just going to ask you the same thing. I believe it is.
Was that the Dude Run episode? Oh my gosh.
I believe it is.
Oh, R.I.P. Brian. Run. R.I.P. Brian Honoy, even though he's not dead.
There's no running in ghost hunting. Well, seriously.
The old days of the drama that they used to kind of be forced to put into it from the network. It kind of seemed like all the personal behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. And Jason and Grant weren't happy with all that crap. No. They just wanted to do their thing,
Wanted to do their thing. Yeah, I remember like one of the first 1 or 2 episodes, they were actually like filming some of their family, like in their kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they showed Jason chewing out Brian and some other investigator outside.
He did that all the time.
Yeah, he totally came across as a jerk.
Real dick. Well, a literal dickhead.
But I'm here to tell you right now, nothing could be further from the truth. So
absolutely. Hey, he is a wonderful guy. I did not get to speak to him, but Patrick did.
Well, yeah. Before we wrap up the episode, I did want to quickly run down some of our favorite guests that we've had lucky enough to be on this show.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mike, what do you have next?
Well, I also put Waverly Hills Sanitarium.
I didn't even think of that one. That's great.
Oh, well, geez. How could you not? That's like the epitome of abandoned. Well, it's abandoned, but, very active, I think, in the background of, I don't know, some parts of restoration and ghost hunting opportunities.
Yeah, it's just one of those names, just hearing the term Waverly immediately just brings up images of ghosts and, the paranormal.
And so much, torture, with the, the tuberculosis experiments and the electric shock and, being exposed to cold outdoor air,
Was that didn't they have like literal, like dead body chutes where they would, when people would dive, when people would die, they would literally like throw them down the kind of like what's it called? The smart waiter?
Dumb waiter?
Dumb waiter. Smart waiter.
Oh, it's a smart waiter. That's the one that gets paid just a little bit more. It's a dumb waiter. It's a freaking dumb waiter.
It's like a dumb waiter for bodies.
Well, it's actually a chute that a person would walk along and pull the gurney with the body on it.
I want to think of it as a dumb waiter for bodies. Just let me think of it that way.
It's not like, a little tiny door in your bathroom that you throw your underwear in and they end up on the floor by the washer and dryer.
But that would be okay, fine.
Take
away my fun.
I replaced it with my own fun.
What's better now? For a shirt, sometime future or smart waiter?
Yeah, well, that that has to have its own T-shirt.
Oh man,
with your confused look face on
exactly. With the.
I'm gonna use a smart waiter.
Holy
Stop!
shit.
Your nose is gonna bleed.
It is. Sorry, but that was pretty pathetic on my part. But funny.
Anyway, but what do you have next? What kind of a bucket list place have you?
Just in the order I wrote them down. I wrote down the Queen Mary.
Oh hell yeah! I didn't get that one written down.
Yep. And I'm concerned about the Queen Mary. Haven't there been like rumors that it's going to be, not wrecked, scrapped?
I thought I heard something about that, but maybe
it's been saved, so to speak, since then. Maybe there's been like some sort of petition to.
And why would it be scrapped? Is it like funding is just gone for it?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. Safety reasons, maybe. I don't know.
And to scrap something so historical and that is still used.
I know, that's the thing. It's a huge moneymaker for tourists, for God's sakes. So I
just don't understand. If any of the listeners know or have heard more about that information, please let us know at 555-2932.
It's always 555. Every number you hear on a movie is always 555. So
555-BR49.
That too.
Or whatever.
The Queen Mary, the one haunting part of it that I remember is that of the small child that is
in the pool.
Around the pool area. So
well, I've seen a paranormal show and I can't remember what it was, and it was I think many years ago, where I heard an EVP that was caught there of the little child in the pool. And it was creepy,
that
freaky,
sounds familiar.
and made me piddle a little bit.
Was that wasn't Dave Schrader's show, was it? Oh, why am I drawing a blank on the name of that? Sorry, Dave. You've been an awesome guest on the show twice. Oh, not the Holzer Files. The one he did after that. I don't know. I could be totally mixing up stuff. There's so many good quality shows out there. Do you have any other, Mike, that you have written down?
Yes, almost anywhere in Tombstone, Arizona.
Another good one.
So much, going on there.
Absolutely love that one.
The Birdcage Theater, Big Nose Kate Saloon, the OK Corral, obviously, Boot Hill. Just a plethora of spiritual entities.
Have you ever heard Johnny Cash's song about Boot Hill?
I may have.
I believe it's called Boot Hill. Actually, I know Boot Hill.
Can you hum a few bars for us?
No, I cannot.
Okay. Do you know any of the words to it?
Boot Hill.
Just saying that over and over again.
Well,
Boot
I know
Hill.
it's
Boot Hill.
It's said he sings it quite often in the song. It's not over and over. It's not repeated constantly.
Okay, well,
I
might have to Google that.
It's a cool song. It is a cool song. In all sincerity, I think you'd like it.
Yes.
Another one I wrote down, Mike.
Yes.
The Lizzie Borden house.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Seeing the pictures of that place, like the police photos of the murders, like her father,
gruesome
on the couch, and her stepmother, on her hands and knees, with her head on the floor between the bed and the wall or something.
Yeah. No, thank you. But
her father's face was obliterated with an axe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just amazing.
It's amazing, he says.
Well, Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her father 40 whacks. When she seen what she had done, she gave her mother 41. But actually, was it less whacks or was it actually more? I know that the 40 and 41 were not correct numbers, but
I don't know, man. You know more about
matter.
That.
It's impertinent.
It's well, it's one thing. It's a gruesome true story.
Oh, absolutely.
It's up for debate whether or not people believe there's any sort of paranormal activity associated with that house.
Yeah.
Some investigators that we respect, I know that they've claimed to experience activity there, but others claim to have not. But I'd love to find out for myself.
Absolutely.
Mike, what else do you have?
Well, I don't have any other ones that as a bucket list, but
oh, sure, okay. That's
I
no problem.
I do want to reiterate
I have a couple.
What made me happy about that I was able to go to and experience.
Yes, sir.
And that's talking about Sandhaven.
100%. I'm jealous of that one. I'm jealous.
It was so wild because it's shaped like all the other sanitariums. They have that shape to where they're and
Mike's gesticulating with his one good arm.
Gesticulating at like kind of a chevron type shape.
Are you like trying to do like a horseshoe or something? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, not quite that much of a bend to it.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, when I was going through there, I had so many thoughts of like, of these other places like Waverly and things, but Waverly.
Well, that too.
But
yeah.
But for me to be able to experience just on that level of sanitariums, absolutely fantastic.
I need to listen to the EVPs, or not EVPs, the audio that you sent me from there again. You sent me like 3 short audio clips.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. I need to listen to that stuff again.
Well, you remember the music?
Yes, absolutely.
That's when I was told that there's supposed to be babies buried along this ledge that was in the basement. And it went down to a dead end at the end of this dark tunnel, and very small. And right away, I just not ran, but walked quickly.
Walked very quickly.
It's like I'm sure that the people that were back where I started from just saw me disappear into the blackness.
That would have been a great sight.
I had no light, and I just went back there and I started recording on my phone. And it's like when I was standing there, that it was like weird, creepy, scary movie music.
Yes, that is right.
Just like a line of it, like just creepy.
Oh my gosh, my memory is now coming back to me about that. Now, because we actually had a special episode for the Ultimate Route podcast about your adventures at Sandhaven.
Right.
And we discussed
illegal adventures, actually. We were trespassing.
Well, you didn't, okay. You didn't have to
but
say
they were
that.
engineers that were there assessing all the work that would have to be done to get all the asbestos out before they tore it down.
So there you go.
We were in there with all the asbestos and the engineers, and
you were participating. You were providing your own helpful input.
Yeah. Well, when I told them who we were and who I was about the podcast, and then when I mentioned, then we've been on Chris Jericho's podcast, and boy, one of the guys really lit up.
Yeah.
So they were all excited, and everything. So I felt kind of special.
Ah, shit, Mike. Grab your Ponderables. The other 2 that I have written down are the Stanley Hotel.
Yes.
And St. Augustine Lighthouse.
Yes, absolutely.
God damn. I don't mean to sound like I'm rushing you, but I kind of am right now. I didn't realize that we were already at like an hour and 25 minutes. This has been awesome.
People are going to give up after an hour and 30 minutes. It's like they're done.
Whip them out, Mike.
It's the only time that they want to give us.
Pardon me while I whip these out. That's what Mike says quite a bit.
Yeah. Didn't we used to have a Ponderables themes?
Ponderables, and the Ponderables, and here we are with some Ponderables, and there you go. Now we do.
There we go. All right. Hey, throw one out there. Throw out a Ponderable, Patrick, and let me see if you got it in you.
You want me to throw a Ponderable out?
Yes, right at me.
Oh shit. Okay. I gotta find mine then. I thought you were just going to do
crying out loud.
Okay, hold on. Don't you get all huffy with me.
I can start if you are not prepared.
Yes, you start and then I'll throw one out at you.
Mary Patrick's being kind of a dick right now. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Which one are you reading from, Mike?
I don't know. It's front door. No, that's an ad. Oh, jeez, criminy. Where is it at?
We're going to end this show with a bang.
99 humorous, thought-provoking Ponderables.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep. I will try and find a different Ponderables list then. Okay.
Then I will say, hey, Patrick, if nothing sticks to Teflon, what makes Teflon stick to the pan? Ponder.
Okay.
I see. I've even brought back the ponder. That was a big part of it, and I totally forgot about it until it came out.
Well, I haven't even found my list yet, but what did I say to you earlier today? I said, like, if quizzes are quizzical, then what are tests?
Yes, they are testicle.
Okay.
Testicle.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, this one's just stupid, but I'm going to say it anyway. Why, Patrick, doesn't glue stick to the inside of the bottle?
Why doesn't glue stick to the inside of a bottle?
That's just stupid.
Well, you haven't even given the answer. What's the answer?
There's no answer. You got to ponder it.
That's the ponderable. Oh, shit. My bad.
Yeah, there's no answer to this crap.
Man, my brain isn't working right now. I'm still thinking about
then
future.
Then answer me this. Ponder this one, Patrick.
Okay.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers? Ponder.
I think you've said that one before.
Years ago.
Probably years ago. So they're new again.
They're totally new again.
I'm still struggling to find a GD list.
Well, I'm going to keep going then because I got a plethora. There's that word again.
Okay, I found a list.
People from Poland are called Poles.
Yes.
Are people from Holland called holes?
Okay.
That one's just stupid. And no disrespect to Polish and Hollanders people. Hollanderistic.
I don't know if this is literally correct, as in like
literally.
no, like as in far as like the book or the writings.
Literally.
Like
okay.
I wasn't saying literally. I was like Is that right? Literarily. Like the text, like the writings. But the
literarily.
That's why I said was literarily, and then you started mocking
sounded
me.
Wrong because I thought you were trying to say literally.
No, it was right because I wasn't trying to say literally.
You get so passionate about that crap.
You get passionate about that crap.
Say your list.
See, now I don't even think it's funny. It's not even worth it. But the question I found, literarily, why doesn't Tarzan have a damn beard?
That's right. Johnny Weissmuller never had one. Buster Crabbe never had one.
Man.
Wow. He did have a sharp knife and a whetstone, I think.
So what? What was Captain Hook's name before he got the damn hook?
Captain Hookless?
Hey, that's a good one. Captain, I do not have a hook.
Yeah. Captain, I have a hand. I have a hand.
Captain Hand. Yes.
Captain have a hand.
I like that. Captain have a hand. Oh, man. Okay, Mike, if love is blind, then why is lingerie so popular?
Well, I'll tell you. You don't have to see to feel what's going on.
I understand. I gotcha. Okay, go ahead. We're flying through these, but that's good. Are you struggling? Okay, go ahead.
Is there an abbreviation for the word abbreviation?
See, those are. There's a lot of them out there. That's like a George Carlin type of a joke.
Yeah.
Like, why is abbreviation such a long word? Yeah. Or like, why is monosyllabic 5 syllables?
Why is water blue?
Okay, that doesn't make sense. So.
No, well, of course. That's because that's my point.
Isn't that's because of the color of the... No, I'm not going to say anything. Oh, let's see here. What do they use to ship styrofoam?
Wow.
I tell you, that'd be the most annoying box ever for me. Talk about pet peeves, man.
Squeaky.
God, if you want to drive Patrick Koffenberg nuts, throw him in like a giant bin filled with styrofoam, and I will die miserably.
Or you can just simply make weird noises into the microphone.
Oh, shit.
That's like plunging a knife right into his brain and ice picks in his ears. Oh.
So, Mike, you're a baseball fan. If the Cincinnati Reds were the first Major League Baseball team, then who did they play?
Ponder.
Thank you for finishing that for me. Okay.
Hey, if you throw a cat out a car window, god dang.
Ouch.
Does it become kitty litter? Ponder.
That's
Oh,
awful.
wow.
That's terrible.
What is another word for this thesaurus?
Okay, how do you say that, Mike?
Thesaurus.
I like this one. This one's simple but straight to the point. Why can we not tickle ourselves?
I don't know. It's a self-defense mechanism. You're not allowed. It's just not going to work.
It never works. It's not that I sit there and try and tickle myself all the time, but
you tickle yourself in ways that are just not kosher,
and they're not appropriate for this discussion.
Yes.
Mike, what is the speed of dark?
Dark? Slow.
Lord. Okay, go ahead.
Is it okay, Patrick, to shoot tourists during tourist season? Ponder.
Well, no. It's never okay.
Well.
Mike, if you were to strangle a Smurf, what color would it turn? He doesn't know how to react.
Sky blue. He gets blue shot eyes as well.
Man, we're sinking like the Hindenburg right now, crashing and burning a little bit.
Burning faster than a Hindenburg. Hey, why does the word monosyllabic have 5 syllables?
Well, I said that
it's
earlier.
I didn't hear it. See, that's how I don't listen to you.
You know what, Mike?
Sometimes you talk in a pitch that goes right over my head.
The thing is, Mike,
and that was one of them.
You literally laughed when I said that to you.
Did I? God,
yes.
Dang it. Mary, I got to make a doctor's appointment.
Because I had seen something. Yeah.
We shouldn't be reading off the same list.
We're not. That's the thing.
Well, that's why I'm confused.
Well, I'll find one more to wrap it up, and then you can choose one more to wrap it up, okay?
Oh my God. Well, probably say one you already said. I don't want to do that.
This one you haven't, I know for sure. But
okay.
the question is, do kleptomaniacs help themselves because they simply cannot help themselves?
Ponder.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Well, Patrick, I need you to ponder this one.
Why is monosyllabic 5 syllables?
Oh, I would have remembered if I would have heard you say that word.
Go listen to the episode, man.
No, I can't do that either. Patrick, but when a cow laughs, and did you say that one?
I did not, no.
Oh, thank God. When a cow laughs, does milk come out of its nose? Ponder.
All right, that's enough. That's good.
Oh, man, we got to put more thought into this before we think about doing this again.
But I think this has been pretty good, though. This has been an hour and a half of lightning fast entertainment.
Crap.
Lightning fast entertainment. We got to wrap it up.
We do.
Thanks, Mike, for making this work. Sincerely, this was a great time. Had a great discussion.
I'm collecting my notes.
And,
absolutely.
Thank you to Angela Don. And
yes, again, congratulations.
Yes, send us your information if you are interested in Mike's grand prize. He does have some cool stuff picked out for you. Send us a message, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
Until then, Mike, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. What do our paranormal pondering friends need to do?
Peace out.